Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fishing North Atlantic. We're back out here on the Monkey Catcher, hopefully to continue our fantastic string of crab here, and with some good news. So, the developers of this game, Miscellaneous Miss Games, is coming out with another update, and the update is going to be 3 new boats. But that was it. That was all I know. So it's not too terribly big of an update. If you did watch The Long Dark, we did actually start a new challenge, and you know a little bit of what is going on in real life here. So I told them, or I told everybody in that video, the reason why we only had 3 videos last week is because I've been. Or actually, we were busy butchering up a cow. Long story short. And this week, I'm going to try to do as many videos as humanly possible. But the problem is that I feel like absolute dog crap. So, with that being said, we're going to try our best to record as many videos as possible. They may not be long, they may not be anything extravagant. We're going to try to do 2 episodes of at least Fishing North Atlantic, maybe try to get an out or out there and something like that. Sadly, live stream is just not going to happen, especially this week. Last week there was no live stream just because we were busy and I honestly didn't have time, and then this week it's just because I've been sick. What is sick, right? So sick is with me right now is it feels like I've been gargling nails, or needles as I called it in the Long Dark episode, and it's not very fun. It's been hurting a lot. So that's where we're at. Sounds like gargling nails, and that's really all that it is. I mean, like sometimes my abdomen is not feeling great, but that's it. So I'm not really sure why it's hitting as hard as it is, because it's just a sore throat. Mainly a sore throat and a massive headache, like just temple to temple, over the top of your head, like right, follow your hairline, and that's where it is. It is just insane, and it just doesn't feel great. Some other side effects that we found was it is very hard to hear. I don't know if it is because of the sickness or if I'm just a dude when my wife is talking. Not for sure, but whether the case may be, she was in the kitchen, so maybe about 20 feet away, and she asked me a question, and I could not hear her to save my life. Now, you may call that selective hearing, but I call it whatever you want to call it. I blame the sickness, alright? But anyway, back to being honest, it is just, it's hurting. I just recorded like a 20-minute episode of Long Dark. Like I say, we just started a new challenge, so if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. Thank you much for the support. And like I said, we're going to try to post as many videos as humanly possible this week. Of course, we're going to try to get back to 5 videos a week, but if that just can't happen, then hopefully you guys understand. And again, like I said in The Long Dark, I do want to thank Mr. Ray. You know who you are, and have safe travels. He's a truck driver somewhere. I don't know if he's cross country or not. I forgot by now. But he said that this winter's been insane, which I agree, man. Here in Oregon, supposedly we've been getting record snow. Valley Floor's been getting about 15 or so inches, and then Crater Lake, it has over 10 feet, and I think it got like 10 feet in a week or less. I'm not real sure about that timeline, but I know California's getting pummeled in snow right now. And it's actually really funny because they're complaining about it, but then they're complaining about it, but then they complain that they need water. So it's like, come on, make up your mind. What do you want? Do you want water, or do you want snow, or drought, or do you want water? Right? So anyway, it's funny to us Northerners, right? That can, we have lakes and stuff to handle the water and stuff like that, and rivers and stuff, and then you have California, which don't. So it's like, you kind of did to yourself. Anyway, besides the point, that's political and all that fun stuff. I try to stay out of it. But anyway, so like I said, I'm in the long dark. I'm going to try to stay calm. I'm going to try to keep everything lubricated in the vocal cords. So if my voice gets weak or if it cracks or what have you, that is why. I try not to talk too terribly much today. And that is just because it kind of hurts to talk. And so some people, or some of you may be asking, well, why the hell you're trying to record a video if it hurts to talk? And that is a good question. The answer is because it's fun. It's fun to play the games and record for you guys, like I always said from the get-go, and I still say to this day, it's a hobby. It's just fun to play. And actually, future references, or what I hope to get in the future, is Sons of the Forest. Sorry, I hit my mic. Sons of the Forest. I've been watching Fooster, and if you want to look him up, he's a British lad out there in the UK, I think, is where he's located. But anyway, he's British, and he has an American friend named Taco, even though it's Taco, but it's Taco. I think he's Swedish, which is Fisk, he added a new guy, and I didn't catch where he's from, but his name's Olaf. So he could be Norway, or from Norway. I'm not 100% sure. I've only seen him like twice in his videos, so I'm not 100% sure. But if you want to watch his videos, absolutely fantastic. I mean, he makes videos that I wish I could produce, and it's very intriguing. It's very like grabbing, and it's absolutely great. But if you want to look him up, it is capital F-O, or circles. What am I trying to fucking say? Fooster, not circle, not zero, not whatever. So it's just Fooster. And so yeah, so if you want to go check him out, please do. I mean, it's an absolutely fantastic group of guys out there that I actually watch. I don't watch all of his stuff, but I've been watching Sons of the Forest, and it looks like a good game. I'm going to try to get my wife to play the Forest first, and then the Sons of the Forest. Maybe we'll do it backwards, I'm not sure. But either way, I'm going to try to get her to play. But like I said, in the long dark, she is actually not feeling great either. She's actually the one that gave it to me. So that was real nice of her to do. Anyway, so... And actually, her boss gave it to her. So her boss gave it to her, and then she gave it to me, and then, it went downhill from there. My sister got it. I mean, it was just... Anyway, so what I did want to talk about, which I said that I would talk about in the long dark, is I got a new dishwasher. So my dishwasher was absolutely trash, my old one. It came with the house when we bought it, which makes sense because it sucked. It was, well, now I can't even remember what the damn thing was called. It started with an A, but anyway, it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. We had the same one in the apartment when we had the apartment, and it didn't clean very well out there as well. So we got the tax return back, and we went and got one. And it is absolutely fantastic. Now the problem is that I am not a plumber. Okay, let's just get that out of the way 100%. I am a truck driver, not a plumber. And so we put it in ourselves. And I'm thinking like, hey, how hard could it be? You hook up a power line, and then you hook up a water line, and the drain line, and boom, you're done. Well, this is where I'm not a plumber comes into action. So what happened is that because I'm not a plumber, I was like, oh, well, you just tighten this thing down. Forgot all about Teflon tape and all that other fun stuff, so I didn't get none. And then we hooked it up, started leaking right off the bat. Every time you turned on the water line, it started leaking. I was like, shit. And so I tightened it down as hard as I could. Now, of course, I used the old water line because I didn't think it was messed up, but apparently it was. And so I was like, oh, everything's fine. Well, anyway, it ended up being the washer was all screwed up and stuff like that. And so I went to the Home Depot, and I got a new one. It was like $20, and I was like, holy crap, $20 for a hose and a brass fitting. So then, I was like, all right. So when I come home from work, because of course this is in the process of us butchering up a cow. I just explained that story in the Long Dark video, which was theoretically yesterday. Maybe Monday. Well, it's going to be Monday no matter what. But anyway, so we butchered a cow and all that fun stuff. So then we went to Home Depot and we got this water line and brass fitting and everything else. I hooked it all up, and these crabs are actually doing great. 424,000 pounds so far, which is more than double, double what we made the first pickup. But any Hoosier, so we went and got a water line, and then we had to go wrap and butcher a cow and grind it and all that fun stuff. So I never got time. But then I hooked up the water line after work one day, and it quit leaking. I'm like, sweet. And so I didn't think anything about it. We ran a load of dishes. It cleans fantastically. I thought my days of plumbing were done, and then it turns out that the water line was leaking, and it wasn't because so the water line was leaking first, and then we bought the new one, and so I was like, well, it's just a water line. So I took it off, and I wrapped the water line with Teflon tape. I was like, all right, this should clean everything, because I thought it was the water line. But the problem was, which is you'll find out here in a second, was it was the brass fitting, which I didn't even think about. So I took off the water line, I put Teflon tape around it, and I made sure it looked sexy. Boom, wrapped it around it, tightened it down pretty good, and then all of a sudden it started spraying everywhere. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But it came straight from the brass fitting. So then I took off the brass fitting, had more than about 3 gallons of water on the floor, and that was after I turned off the water line. See, because every time I come home from work or I woke up in the morning, there was a puddle of water running across my kitchen. I was like, you got to be bloody kidding me, right? So we finally, all right, yesterday after work, actually, I felt like crap too, but I had to get it fixed. So I was laying on the ground, right, and I undid the brass fitting, and it was all sorts of screwed up. And so I put the new brass fitting on, and I tried Teflon tape on the, there's like a blue metal end, trying to put Teflon tape on it, and I hooked it up, and boom, started spraying again. I was like, you son of a bitch. And so it wasn't working out very well. And then I was like, you know what, screw it. So I took off the Teflon tape and I screwed it on as tight as I could. And knock on wood, so far it hasn't been leaking. We ran 2 loads of dishes through it today. And so theoretically it's working out pretty good. So I think I finally figured it out, theoretically. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, the dishes, it sucked. I mean, with the old dishwasher, we were trying to clean them off by hand and do that, and and for 2 people, you don't necessarily need a dishwasher, but we like it for like chili pans and stuff like that. That real burn-on stuff and stuff like that. We like it just to sanitize, especially now that we're sick and stuff like that. We like it for sanitize, so we needed it. But anyway. So finally figured it out. Hopefully it works. We just took a little bit of a nap. My wife's been sleeping since about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Or actually, it's been like 1:30. So she's been sleeping, and she called out too. My boss was not very happy when I called out, because I tried to go home yesterday when I went to work, but he wasn't having it. So anyway, he was not happy with me at all, but I didn't care because I didn't feel good. So I stayed all day yesterday, and then I texted him last night at like 8 o'clock, and it was horrendous. So the one thing that I forgot to say was I had nausea, really bad nausea, and the problem was is I didn't eat anything. I was like, I don't really understand what is causing it because I didn't eat anything, so why the hell am I nauseated? Oh, and I guess that's where we start the next line or string. But anyway, so that I couldn't figure it out. So I texted him. I was like, "Yep, I'm just calling in. I'm not gonna go because screw this place. It's not worth me dying over. And especially like I said, I'm like my memory is shot. Like I'll set my phone down and I can't remember where the hell it went, which is normal. I mean, don't freak out because it is a normal thing here. But yeah, just stupid stuff like that, and I just can't figure it out. But anyway, so we're gonna try to do all the videos we can. If they're not great, I do apologize. I am gonna try to make them backed up to normal as possible, but really no promises. Because, like I said, my throat is absolutely on fire. We tried doing some, what did we try to do? Oh no, I can't remember. We tried to do some, I don't know. We tried to do something. I can't remember now. Anyway, whatever we tried to do, it didn't work. So we'll see how it goes. So hopefully you guys don't mind, because it feels like I'm on drugs, but I'm really not. I'm just out of it. So anyway, let's pick up this last pot. It is green, so it isn't the greatest. So far we have 471,126 pounds of crab. The oldest pot or oldest crab we have is 1 day and 20 hours. That was the first crab. So we still got about 5 days yet for freshness, or as far as freshness is concerned, 2,500 pounds. So 473,668 pounds. That was weird. What time is it? Midnight. Okay, so apparently at midnight it gets instant clear. That's weird. Anyway, besides the point, thank you all so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll catch you all on the next ones. So you all, take care.